What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Have you heard the call? Have you had that moment or moments in your life where you feel like, wow, it's time to step into my destiny. It's time to really show up, and maybe in a simple situation or maybe a complex situation. Tonight, we are exploring a beautiful topic, answering the mythic call. And I'm really excited because hosting tonight's show, I'm going to turn the reins over to a woman I have so much respect for. The more I get to know her, the more I see how she has answered her mythic call and continues to answer it. The choices she's made in her life that have been so courageous, so powerful. And I have tremendous respect for her. And she is our host tonight, the creator of this show. It's Eden Amadora. Welcome, Eden, and thank you so much for hosting us and leading us on the journey tonight.
It's really my honor. So good to be here, Scott. I'm glad you could make a quick cameo and get the rocket ship blasting off here into the good vibrations. I just love your theme song. Every time I come on, I feel lit up from the get-go.
And I noticed that one of the lyrics is, "Do you hear the call?" So it's even in the opening video. And how special that you've got your mentor with us tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to you to introduce us to Ariel and have a great show. I love you so much.
Have a wonderful evening. You deserve it for everything you've done for the community. I hope you have such a beautiful night. Dance for us.
I will. Good
Okay.
night, everybody.
So much love, Scott. All right, everyone. Wow, I'm so excited. When Scott told me that I could choose the theme to tonight's show and choose who I wanted to talk to, I immediately thought of my mentor and my fairy goddess mother, Ariel Spilsbury. So I'm here with Ariel, who's known by many names, sometimes the mumbling mystic, sometimes she's known as simply Fifi, the fairy goddess mother. And she is also a lamp lifter, a way shower, as a priestess, for that is truly what she introduced me to, the path of the priestess. She's here for the collective awakening. I'm going to read a little bit from this blurb about her, and then I'll pop it in for you to read more. Ariel is the founder of the 13 Moon Mystery School, and this is a part of the Sanctuary of the Open Heart. The Sanctuary of the Open Heart is dedicated to accessing the wisdom of the sacred feminine within us all. And Ariel's present focus in consciousness is to create a physical temple here in the San Francisco Greater Bay Area for the 13 Moon Mystery School and the Sanctuary of the Open Heart to serve many beings, a place that anchors this incredible work so that you can come and experience it here with us. So we're going to get to talk much more to Ariel later, and we're also going to receive a beautiful transmission she's created for these times and for the collective awakening. But before we do that, we're going to get to dance and have some joyful music with our beautiful brother, Om Ashar. So I'll talk to you soon, Ariel. All right, Om Ashar, we're turning it over to you.
Well, namaste, everybody, and how wonderful to see Scott tonight. I did not expect to see him tonight, and it was just a real joy that he could come and make, as Eden said, a cameo appearance. So here is a little ditty called What If, and I think the lyrics speak for themselves. Okay, here we go. What if we could find a way to wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start? Now that we see and know the way to lift our day and shine the light for all to see, the way back home and the way to be free. Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. As we rise up from the fall, there is a way to see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again with an open heart. We feel safe again. And now that we're free and we see that the way is to let our love show us a new way to be, and we relish the chance to be part of the gods that will recreate the world anew. What if we could find a way to wipe away all tears and fears, all broken hearts, to clear the way for a brand new start? Let our love lead the way. Let the light shine through all. Let our hearts and minds be free. see again, to be again, to know the truth and smile again. With an open heart we feel safe again.
Oh, so beautiful, Mashar. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. It's such a pleasure playing for us because it's the reason why we're here. We're doing this together, and the circuit is complete when we're all tuning in and dancing and moving and grooving. It's so fun.
Gives me so much joy. It was so fun for me to get to see who was really moving and grooving and spotlight them. And I wish I could spotlight everyone, because everyone in their own way was just beaming so much sweetness and love, even if they were barely moving. So if I didn't spotlight you this song, next time Omashar plays, get ready.
Yay. Thank you.
So I realize that we have a little time before Nicholas comes on to lead a meditation. And it would be wonderful to get the conversation started with Ariel. And what I would like to invite is that all of us who want to be on camera actually come on camera. I would love to see your eyes. And I know that some of the recordings won't show the gallery, but at least we can see each other. Because one thing Ariel has really taught me is that the value of connecting in the heart is the most important thing, to just see who's here. Yeah, it's so beautiful to see you. And I know that you have a lot of questions for our fairy goddess mother. If you know anything about Ariel, she is an embodiment of unconditional love. And in this world we're all called on this mythic journey to embody that love. So I'm going to invite you to bring your voices, your questions, and your comments into the chat this evening, so we can really be interactive with Ariel. All right. Fifi, Ariel, whatever mask you want to wear tonight, let's chat a bit. I'm going to put both of us on together here. I'm learning the whole. Thanks, Omashar. You do the tech now. Yay. So, Ariel, one thing you might not know is before tonight's show, I was part of a text thread with many, many of our beloved priestess sisters and brother who is in the 13 Moon community. And one of the questions that came up was, why have the 13 Moon priestesses and priests not been more vocal about the current situation in the Middle East? And I know that you have a very clear and strong reason why we traditionally don't speak about politics or any particular acts of violence or wars that are currently happening. And when we decided to come together tonight, one of the big reasons that I really wanted to talk to you was to amplify this question: what is true power? When we feel powerless on earth with all the great religious institutions and political systems, sometimes we're feeling quite caught in someone else's movie direction, so to speak. And I wanted to open up a conversation about what true power is with you compared to force, or what we're seeing as the current outpicturing of what we think power might be on the planet. So I'd love to start right there. Let me just check with Omashar. Omashar, Does Nicholas begin at 6:15 or 6:30?
His meditation is at 6:30, and
Okay.
I'll watch out for him. He usually comes in about 6:15.
Can you give us a little warning when we need to wrap this?
I'll in the DM.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay. All right.
Well, first of all, you've spoken it really eloquently in terms of what we're all moving toward is unconditional awareness, unconditional love. And in that non-dual awareness, it is our intention to amplify only those things that we want to put out to the collective in a really coherent and wonderful way. And when we begin to get into conversations about the derisiveness that's happening on the level of the ego mind, we're amplifying that. Instead of what we do as priestesses is work alchemically in non-dual awareness to be able to affect the literally the collective mind field of earth through our love, through our innocence, through our absolute commitment and devotion to love. So that's a different way of working, and that doesn't mean we need to be not active in the world, but it is a different focus. And the 13 Moon Mystery School is geared toward the alchemical focus. If any of you have ever studied random number computer generators or morphogenetic field theory, you understand that in fact we do affect the collective mind field very powerfully. And the more empty and present we are, the more we affect the collective. And so that's the first thing you alluded to. And I think that's very important to distinguish why we have not focused on things that are happening on the screen of life in a 3D, linear way that's polarizing.
One thing I wanted to just piggyback onto that is that we meet regularly in prayer and very coherent fields of visioning peace on earth and visioning the collective awakening. And then in our own ripple of influence, we're working with individuals constantly one-on-one to assist this awakening. And the violence or the current outpicturing we see that seems so full of division and separation consciousness, it doesn't start on that global political level. It starts in each individual's consciousness. So it's a real shift in a way of holding peace on earth, that it begins within, as Gandhi said, if you want to see peace, be that peace. So thank you, Ariel. And you can continue with what you're saying.
Well, the other half of your question was about the nature of power. And no matter how many lifetimes it takes to come to this point, eventually in the curriculum, in the soul curriculum that we find ourselves in on earth, we come to the place where we recognize that the only power there is unconditional love. That is the only power there is, period. And to learn that may take many lifetimes for people to really get that, that it doesn't really matter because there is no such thing as time, but that is really the primary lesson that people are getting right now about how to realign themselves so they're in alignment with divine power, which is love. So, and all those outpicturings that are not that are going into dissolution right now. That's what's happening on the screen of life. What looks so messy is all the things that are not that are being called into shakedown right now. And it looks pretty messy, but it's all necessary. It's all part of the dissolution that will lead us into further understanding the nature of true power.
Would you be willing to also take us a little bit deeper into this phenomenon between our right and left hemispheres of our brain? Because I know that we are living in a system, in a world that's been so heavily influenced by left brain ways of being. And I know a lot of the alchemical work we're doing is about that inner marriage. And if you could just share a little bit more for the people listening, like even a very simple way of reorienting or a personal way to bring more harmony into their own experience and consciousness?
Mhm. Well, I think it's for us to look within and see where we're out of balance. In other words, I think I had to become a goddess worshiper because I was so out of balance in the masculine. I mean, really being so driven in work and, everything that I've done with my life that, so it isn't about gender. It's really about maleness and femaleness beyond gender that exists within all of us, male and female polarities. And now we are becoming really aware in ourselves as to where we sit in what's called the hieros gamos, the inner marriage that alchemy speaks of. And so we're called to really consider especially the right brain outpicturing, which is the feminine, which is the artistic, which is the mystical, not the left brain being the masculine, the linear, ordered, and so forth. One is not better than the other, but it's become very lopsided. We have a culture that is predicated on the left brain and has just left out any valuing of the feminine in the right brain. So we're in the process of that really delicate dance right now, where that masculine power has moved us into a time of incredible peril because we're so out of balance. And that isn't to judge the masculine either. That's just to say the masculine in all of us have put us in that position.
Thank you for that distinction. And as I have been so impacted by you in such a positive way, I would say that one of the core teachings and takeaways from my many years of mystery school training through Ariel's work is that, as she said, and people are reflecting in the chat, Ariel speaks truth, only unconditional love is real. She's also taught me that there's the word sovereignty. And we usually associate a sovereign as like a ruler of a land, like a king or a queen. And Ariel has brought in this greater meaning, a higher octave of the meaning sovereignty as spiritual sovereignty in my life. And when we speak about power from a lens of sovereignty, Ariel has shared with me, if you think about power as your chi, your shakti, your life force energy to create as a creative being, that's that pure raw energy of creation, plus choice, real choice. And there's an expression that she has gifted many of us who've gone through the training, and that is, as a sovereign being, I move from the truth of my heart knowing moment by moment. So for me, this is also true power rather than power over or control, which we've been seeing the outpicturing of that very left brain kind of power that forces and controls. So if there's anything else you want to say about sovereignty, I know I'm getting the 5-minute mark here before our meditation.
Oh, that's great. I could not have been spoken more eloquently. It really is. We are all working toward that position of complete spiritual sovereignty, where we make decisions from a balanced place within ourselves rather than in reaction to anything outside of ourselves. We're coming from the inside of sovereign choice and within ourselves. Like you said, everything begins within, and sovereignty is one of the key, as you've said, touchstones within the 13 Mystery School work, because how can we ever expect to be completely free beings without being sovereign within ourselves?
Right. And when you say that, I imagine the more sovereign we are, the less reactive we are. And if as individuals we're less reactive, we're less prone to fighting and making choices we regret or causing harm. In our sovereignty, we're more peaceful, more responsive, more liberated, then that ripples collectively. And I really feel we're going to go back into a deepening around this after the mythic call, because I have a feeling for those of you here, once you watch the transmission Ariel's created, it's going to really activate some remembrance and catalyze places in you that it rings true, that it really resonates. I'm excited to share that. We have a couple more minutes before Nicholas comes. I just want to share things people are writing. Carol says, responding and not reacting is a skill like any other. It takes practice. True. Someone on their iPhone, you can let us know your name, says, a friend also defines power as creating a safe realm in which others can play. Well, that's a very beautiful new definition of power as empowering and creating safety. We have some tender hearts here. We're holding you, Ayata, as she has lost one of her grandsons tragically. Just holding you in our prayers tonight, beloved. Really wanting to honor the chat. Jeffrey Kohlberg says, understanding the deeper science, the science of the field from the International Space Federation and study resonance science. So I think that he is responding to when you were speaking about the mind field, the collective mind field, the morphogenetic field. And I remember an experiment that I believe was in the 80s with practitioners of transcendental meditation in Chicago or Washington, D.C., and how just by being in that empty presence, in that coherent heart space, violent crime dropped completely throughout the duration of that meditation experiment in the area. So it's science, it's proven how much we affect the field.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Susan says, A Course in Miracles asks for radical forgiveness, which means seeing only holiness and innocence in everyone. Oh, thank you for all your shares. I'm going to scroll back down. I know there'll be others popping. Yeah, there's more, just supporting our beloved who's had this deep loss. Let's bring in our beloved Nicholas. Omashar, you want to do that for us? And Ariel will be back soon for the rest of our conversation. Welcome, Nicholas. Good to see you. Last time I saw you was there in person at the Haven, this beautiful place. And we're so grateful to have your meditation tonight to drop into the heart.
Hey, Nicholas, and we'd also like to welcome all of the Twin Ray community who are joining us at the moment. This is when the two rivers meet and merge. So grateful you're here, brother. So we've probably got a minute, and then as you wish, Nicholas, take the helm. Love you, brother.
All right, y'all. Yes, so much love to both of you. It's great to see you again, Eden.
I know, I was going to get a surgery.
Always feeling so blessed to have this opportunity to hold this space. And so we'll go right into it. For the way and all that beautiful wisdom and the teachings that were brought forth. The way of meditation is the way of embodiment, to retrain, to rewire, to know the way of the heart, to create that balance, that coherence of the wisdom within. And I think a lot in human history, we may have been told that we shouldn't trust ourselves, or our nature within is sometimes evil or bad or all that stuff. I say otherwise. I believe that we would all say otherwise. That deep within, there's absolute beauty and pure love and light, all these beautiful words that we speak of and know. The way of meditation is to embody and to unite. Yoga, to unite, to yoke, that sweetness of the true reality within. So, with that being said, let's unite into that space, taking a few deep breaths within ourselves. In through the nose, and a full exhale through the mouth. A few more rounds of this breath. Taking one more final sighing exhale, softening, 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 arriving fully present with breath in the body. May we make a prayer, uniting in the field of love, of oneness, to cherish this moment, these breaths together in presence, tapping into the sweetness within. Bring your left hand over the heart center, fingers together. The right hand up by the shoulder, like you're making a pledge. With the left hand, the feminine energy. Feel the heart, feel the beat of the heart. Connect to the benevolence within. And with the right hand, holding focus, open and receptive. Slow and steady with the breath. Deepening, deepening, deepening. Softening, softening, softening. Into the sweetness within, our true nature. May we have the willingness to focus our attention as best as we can in all moments of our life to this connection, this union within, until we live in a way where our lives are one big prayer, in a way where we arrive in a space of meditation without meditating, leaving behind the mind, allowing the heart's wisdom to guide the way. In this moment, with each breath, pray, align in your own way that is true and authentic to you. As we say these days, be your own guru. Connect to that teacher within. Remaining soft in the shoulders, tall in the spine. Gentle in the face, relax in the tongue. Focusing the eyes up and in to the space between the brow. Creating a beautiful harmony and balance and unity. As it is said, to try to control others takes force. To control thyself takes great strength and courage. Holding this posture steady with the breath in these next few moments, make a prayer, a promise, invoke an intention in this moment for yourself, for your life. Contemplate, what is it that makes you feel most alive? What is it that you wish to devote each and every breath of your waking hours to? What is it that inspires you to fully show up in the grandest expression that you are? Take a few moments to breathe that in. Become crystal clear. Make a prayer. And as you feel complete with that prayer, rest the right hand down to meet the left hand over the heart. May we in this moment as a community, in this unity, make a prayer for the world. Send this love out, this peace, this equanimity. Send it out to our friends, our family, our communities, our countries, and so on. Taking one more deep breath in together. And a final sigh. And relax the hands down. Feel the openness in the heart. May we always remember to return to the heart. And practice this art of living in this way. Dancing. Flowing. Playing and praying. No matter what challenges we may face. Trusting that love always finds a way. The greatest offering we could give to the world is to simply be that love. these final moments of the meditation as we begin to seal it up, inviting a beautiful, relaxed feeling into the body, ease, effortless. Let your fingers interlace into the lap. Take a few deep breaths into the root, grounding in. And we'll rub the palms together. And then bring that energy into the face and eyes. Rub the face a bit. Slowly coming back. Blink open the eyes. As within, so without, always. Always, always, always. May we come back to this way, going within. Thank you all so much for your presence and joining me in this meditation. Sending my love to you all.
Thank you so much, Nicholas. What a delight, a beautiful journey. We are so peaceful, so connected in the heart. Thank you, brother.
And sweet brother, is Instagram still the best way to communicate with you?
Instagram is good, yes.
And what is the handle?
I can put it in the chat now.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
See you. Namaste. Have a great yoga class. Love you so much, brother.
Love you.
Bye for now. Wow. What a radiant yogi brother. We're so blessed. Wow. I really feel the peace that we co-created here for the one heart. Thank you all for going so deep with us. I'm going to scroll to find Ariel again. Where's our fairy goddess mother on the videos? There she is. Hi, look at who's with you. You've got your sweet Russian blue friend. Can you tell us the name again? We have to unmute you. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Ariel.
Her name is Aziza, which means beloved. And
Is it Persian, you said? Or what is Ziza? Yeah, beautiful. So Ariel, many years ago, I'm not sure how many, she can tell us, she felt, well, I know she felt the mythic call from the time she was a wee little girl. And she had so much love and guidance from the other side of the veil, guiding her along her journey. And then some years ago, she put this transmission to a beautiful video. And when I was watching this video, I was like, she's talking to my soul. How does she know? This is early in my journey into the divine feminine mysteries. I was so catalyzed by this call because I probably, like a lot of you, felt different, felt sensitive, felt like, even what am I doing on this planet at times? Like, wow, this is a really wild place, full of sleep and forgetting. And so when I heard the mythic call, and I know so many brothers and sisters have written you over the years, Ariel, and just the amazing amount of resonance that this has brought into people's lives, what could you share about it before we play it tonight?
Well, it began with exactly what you said, of feeling so enormously different when I was a kid, just like, a stranger in a strange land, really. And so I had this transcendent experience when I was 8 years old of these blue-white light beings that came to me, and this beautiful vision occurred that has been the guiding light of my whole life. But they came and they said, will come to you to keep you able to stay in this level of density, will come and encourage you to be here. And so they did. And I've always just called them, my daughter would say, the blue guys are here, Mom. They're in the bedroom, those little blue spheres. Anyway, so I had that wonderful gift to be able to stay on track and not lose hope. And the reason that I wanted to create this video is for those who had really got the edge of thinking they were losing hope to be able to live in this density, let alone serve in it. So that was my impetus for doing it. And my connection has always been with the star Maya, not the cultural Maya, but with the star Maya. And so for them, I wrote a book called The Mayan Oracle, Return Path to the Stars, which is this frontispiece of the mythic call, is the first page of the book.
Beautiful. Yeah, for those who don't know Ariel's work, I don't think this was included in the bio I shared. Ariel is the author of The Mayan Oracle, which is a beautiful oracle deck set and book it's mind-blowingly powerful. Please take a note. We can later show Ariel's site and show you where you can find that. She's also the author of the 13 Moon Oracle, which is also a book and an oracle deck, and The Alchemy and the Ecstasy, a book full of divine feminine transmissions and rituals. And more recently, the author of Gaia's New Dream Coat, which is on one hand, seemingly like a fairy tale. Once you dive in, you realize that the wisdom teachings are so profound. It's definitely for all ages across the board, and such a fun way to connect with the elementals and the unseen realms again from the heart. So we'll later go a little bit more into how they can find these things. But Ariel, I think that it would be wonderful if you want to invite our listeners, and remember that people are listening now and later as I take in the mythic call, if there's anything you would like to personally invite them to feel, to open to.
A deep remembrance of what your soul script was when you came in. That I hope that that's what it evokes. That's my heart's intention, that you really have some kind of awareness of why you incarnated, what gifts you're carrying, what powers, what tools you're carrying into this lifetime as a mythic being to enact for the collective one. So that's my hope as they watch it, that it will ignite and catalyze that remembrance of their soul script.
Thank you. That brings tears to my eyes. Thank you so much. And Omishar, I'm going to ask you to take the lead on how to launch the video. So the video is about 10 minutes. Just for those who are watching, you can take it in with your heart and really feel the call.
Once upon a time, a galactic council was called, and a mythic call sent out to countless light beings, the children of the sun, the angelic winged ones, the sun runners, the rainbow warriors, and other luminous beings from many star systems. This great circle of light beings gathered from far and wide, and at the appointed nexus, the love of the spinning galaxies entered, gracing them with her ravening celestial light and the following words. You are being invited to incarnate upon a world where a great transformation is taking place. And you who respond and embody this call will go to a place where the illusions of fear and separation are being played out, and a galactic cycle of evolution is coming to both an end and a new beginning. I am calling those with the needed talents and gifts to act as my emissaries there, to lift and transform the frequencies of planet Earth simply by embodying and anchoring love's presence there. You will, by your very presence, transmute into love the vibration of fear that now blankets consciousness there. In this myth, you will play yourselves, holy innocents, divine child creators of this new reality of the Golden Octave. On other journeys, each of you has proven to be a feeling navigator, able to awaken your consciousness and align your heart to the promptings of pure love and compassionate service. As sunrunners and torchbearers, you have already demonstrated that you will hold the light high. And so, I invite you to incarnate en masse among the tribes of Earth, to assist Gaia and all her children in their initiation of the transmutation of matter. This transformation coming to Earth is very rare and precious, even among the many miracles of the cosmos. The magnificence of your loving presence will greatly assist the Earth in utilizing the alchemical frequencies of transformation that will open up new dimensional realities. You are diviners of harmony, who transform simply through your vibrational presence. It is part of the plan that you will be veiled in a kind of forgetting so that you will experience directly what this level of fear and separation feel like, such that you can transform it from the inside out, the mystery of the spinning galaxies went on. However, as you remember the feeling of the sacred garden of childlike innocence and trust, you will become the harmonic leavening in this cycle of initiation for Earth. You will incarnate strategically and often in some of the most vibrationally dense areas on the planet. You who embrace this mythic call, walking into this illusion, may forget the splendor of who you actually are as light beings, experiencing the overwhelming density of Earth. To some, this illusion of separation from love may create feelings of hopelessness or lack of support or vibrational alienation. The very gifts which are being called forth to assist Gaia may be seen as a cause for resistance, fear, and projection by that which is being transformed. It will be your love that will transform the depths of duality and your frequencies of light that will quicken the many. Your participation on this mythic quest is purely voluntary. However, this transformational shift on Earth is very rare and precious. The Earth is spinning into a powerful nexus of evolution, and you're being invited to incarnate as a single global family on Earth. Should you choose to accept this mission, you will have the opportunity to catalyze and synthesize all that you have been during many incarnations, receiving a rarely offered quantum leap in consciousness. It is up to you, as myth makers, to choose how you will dance with Terra Gaia, Mother Earth, and her children as she completes her ceremony of light. And so it was that the luminous beings who formed the countless alliances and councils of the faithful of the stars chose to incarnate on planet Earth to assist in this crucial event, the awakening of consciousness from the dream of matter, form, and separation. As warned, many luminous beings have indeed forgotten who they are and why they came to Earth. But there was even a fail-safe process built into the plan to awaken these beings from the veil of forgetfulness that's so rife on Earth. The luminous ones who would journey to Gaia's assistance agreed to spark each other's remembrance, that the mythic grandeur of the cosmic play of light in the greater hologram would be played out victoriously. Thus, these star-seeded ones were encoded in many ways, with sounds, colors, images, geometries, words, symbols, a vibrational resonance that would assist them in remembering their commitment to the light. The celestial sounds of the crystal singers would catalyze deep remembrance of their star codings. It was agreed that these coded clues would appear everywhere, in visionary art and music, in penetrating looks, in poignant feelings, all creating a deep yearning to awaken and become the full embodiment of love. These symbols would act as alarms going off, assisting them in awakening and staying in their joy. These companions of destiny were encoded in the very cells of their bodies with the new galactic template in consciousness, awakening them to the power of their simple presence as love. And so it is that you, the children of the sun, are now being bathed in the waters of remembrance, prepared as rainbow warriors to fulfill the promise of a new and ancient myth unfolding. You embody the key to igniting unity consciousness on Earth, ushering Gaia and her children into their radiant robes of light. Know that the magic you were born with is indeed real. The feast of the light players is coming together to celebrate as one heart. By simply anchoring love's presence on Earth, you lovingly draw down the mantle of the gods, sending waves of healing and uplifting energy throughout Gaia's eagerly receptive body. As you emerge in this time, your gifts awaken and empower others. Utilizing the tools of laughter and song, dance and joy, you are creating the powerful surge of transformation that will transmute the limitations of the old myth of duality and separation, birthing the miracle of unity consciousness on Earth. The time is now, luminous children of the sun, and incomprehensible is the joy of creation. As you feel called to gather together in ever-widening circles of the great heart mandala of light, which will one day ignite a critical mass, triggering a power surge which will alchemically transmute matter into a higher octave of being. You are called into wakefulness, sun-eyed children of the marvelous dawn. Ancient skywalkers, rise up. Utilize your gifts on behalf of Mother Earth. In a supernova of consciousness, Gaia and her children will rise in robes of light, forming a luminous light body of love to be reborn among the stars. The mythic call has been sounded, and the mythic quest begun. Awaken, rainbow warriors, sun runners, luminous beings from the galactic alliances and councils of the stars. Ancient skywalkers, stand in the beauty and power of your true identity as love's gift to Gaia. Set aside self-doubt. You are a divine child of the sun. Go where your heart draws you to share your great gifts. Surrender to the magic that you are as love. And the miracle will be manifested here on Earth. Return to the garden, return to the sun, return to innocence, return to the one. Remember, we dance and sing here for the one heart.
Let's all just take a deep collective breath. Whew. Wow, Ariel. So powerful, so beautiful. Oh, my heart is so alive and pulsing with energy, and I can feel the response from the people in the Zoom right now, and many others that are watching this around all the live streamings. Eleanor says, whoosh, this is beyond amazing. Thanks so much for the insightful words, messages, and beauty. Wow, from Mara, that was wonderful. Wow, this is freaking amazing from Carol. There's just so much resonance. Yes, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Profound, says Deborah. There's more streaming in. Yes, yes, yes. Profound beyond words. Yes, isn't that what this Global Peace Tribe is all about? Yes, so beautiful, so powerful. Blown away. What a masterpiece. You can just feel the resonance because we are this. We are these sun runners, sun-eyed children of the marvelous dawn. Nodding to Shri Aurobindo for that. Yes. Wow, Ariel. I just want you to take a moment. I know that most of your life, whenever I've tried to give you any accolades, you're just like piffle poof. I don't know. It's not about me, but just know for your little girl, you're not alone with this resonance of this call. And now more than ever is the time that we are being called together. So, does anyone have any questions for Ariel? One is, can we get the website at the end of the video? And they might be speaking about your website. Is that what is at the end of the video? Yes, absolutely. I'm going to pop that in the chat right now. It's easy, but I'll put it in the chat and I'll say it out loud for our brothers and sisters watching that don't have access to the chat. It's holographic goddess. It's .com, Ariel, or .net? .com. Okay, there is the website to visit, and we're going to go there in a little while and go a little deeper into ways to connect with Ariel. I'm going to ask that if you have a question, you can pop it in the chat. I know people really want to speak. If what you could speak is very quintessential, I would invite you to speak it aloud. So Sylvia, if you would like to speak rather than pop it in the chat, I'm going to ask that you really bring your question or your offering into the quintessence for Ariel. Okay, beloved?
I speak first before the participants.
Yes, thank you.
Just to say that I really can't ever, I don't watch this often, but without absolutely choking up, because I feel in my heart so nourished by knowing that there are so many of us that are awakening to this truth right now, that it just touches me so deeply. I'm so grateful, deeply grateful for all of you on this call and all the beings that are awakening in this time. I just want to bow and say thank you. Thank you for your awakening. Thank you. That's it. I just said I couldn't not communicate that right now before we start.
Yeah, thank you for that. I too is so teared up, and I know our inner children are really, really touched, and the star beings we are catalyzed. Yes, there's still so many comments. Here's a question coming in for you and me. Is there a tipping point in this process, both collective and planetary ascension? From Darina Joy. Would love to hear anything you want to share about that, Ariel. If you believe that there is a tipping point coming, or...
I do, and I have. Of course, I felt like it was going to be in 2012, the Mayas, really, but then I recognized at that point in time that the human race was not at that point yet to be able to hit that tipping point. And so it can't be pinpointed because depends on us. The tipping point will happen when enough beings are awakened to their potential and who they actually are. That will be the tipping point. And, different traditions say it's 144. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the number is. We will hit the tipping point, but there's no way to predict when that is. It depends on us.
Yes. And I think one of the parts of that question that makes me want to speak to it in a way that I've been speaking a lot lately is about the concept of ascension, because often we think we're going to come out of matter completely into light. And I know that we talk about awakening from the dream of separation and the dream of time. And I know that great masters have said, in heaven, there'll be no more time. And yeah, I think that Meister Eckhart, you've shared this with me, Ariel, said that our concept of time is what keeps the light from reaching us. So there is this question about ascension actually being directly connected to soul embodiment, rather than leaving completely this reality movie, bringing more light into it.
Yeah.
So both, right? It's the above and the below. It's the great work.
Now that spiral of ascension, descension, the goddess spiral is the bringing of the light into embodiment in the body, immanence. And the other spiral is outward going, and it's happening simultaneously. But many people only focus on the ascension aspect and not on the fact that it's occurring simultaneously.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, that reminds me of these alchemical sayings, as above, so below. And sometimes I know that our friend, and you have a close relationship with a modern day wizard, Richard Rudd, and he speaks about how our suffering contains our grace. And even though the current outpicturing on the planet right now feels so full of suffering, the parts of the mind that might want to say it's just needless. And then there is a deeper surrender to going through that kind of portal of the suffering and the cultivation of compassion, the cultivation of grace through the suffering. And this also reminds me of that dissension or that embodiment. Being here is uncomfortable. It gets really uncomfortable. Suffering, as Buddha said, seems quite inevitable. I don't know if there's anything that pings for you around, how to gracefully navigate the alchemy that we're in right now.
That is a very big question, because it's different for everybody depending on where they are in their alchemical process of evolution. The whole culture at large is in solve et coagula. It's an alchemical principle of breakdown to resynthesize at a higher order of being. That's where we are right now, alchemically speaking, as a collective, but everyone personally as a different level of alchemy, and because they're all evolving in their own unique and sovereign ways. So we can only say there's a bigger picture that's occurring in that way, but everyone's going through their own process of where they are in the alchemical process.
Thank you for that. We have another question coming from Grace. How can action on this plane, intended to be positive, hold the wholeness and totality of the good, so there's no counter reaction? Is this possible? And I know we speak a lot about moving out of this checkerboard of right, wrong, black and white, good, evil as well. And perhaps we can dive a little deeper into that.
Well, yeah, that's how you do it. It requires a huge quantum leap of moving into non-dual awareness. Good, bad, right, wrong, them, us, all those, polarity. No, they're dualities, not polarities. But to be able to work through that is why we're here. So there's nothing wrong. I mean, we're working through the consciousness that's here to move into unity consciousness, non-dual awareness. And that's going to be uncomfortable. It's a process that's ongoing with the whole collective and personally with everybody.
I know from personal moments of excruciating discomfort with inner alchemy as I've been changing through my own initiation into more sovereignty, I feel the ways that the mind grips to the unknown, and these concepts, unity consciousness, some people might even be terrified of what that even means. And I know that there's talk about the singularity, like some blast of unifying something that then you're not a separate, self that can hug another self. And one thing I think is worthy to share is that in the divine feminine, there is this capacity to honor dazzling diversity within unity. So it's not about merging into this non-distinguishable oneness when we talk about unity consciousness. It is this heart-centered consciousness that sees I am another you. And we still can have our, well, I like vanilla and you like chocolate, and that's okay. And I can accept and love you from this space of unity consciousness.
That's a very important point. Thank you for pointing that out, that it's dazzling diversity within unity. It's seemingly a paradox, but that's the whole thing about resolving into non-duality, is recognizing that fact, right?
Yeah, and all great wisdom teachings are chock full of paradox. So
they wouldn't be true if they weren't. In fact, one time Mother said to me, if it's true, it's a paradox.
wow. I have some other comments that are very, very sweet and deep. Carol says, I feel that's true about grief. It's like the more you've loved, the more you grieve. It's definitely a form of praise and reverence. Yeah, there's almost like a sweetness to the sorrow, the deep feeling that we might, with our mind, want to avoid, but it's a portal to more grace and love.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big one. And we're going through that collectively, a lot of grief.
A lot. And we don't have a lot of grief rituals and ability to hold each other well. It's not taught in our culture. How do we grieve together? This is something I'd like to, put out to the collective. Like, can you imagine where it's not only welcome, it's embraced, it's held, where instead of keeping it together in that more left brain system of like production and TikTok time clock, well, get back to work, that we are given this space and this grace to feel and to hold each other. And in my heart, I feel this awakening is coming this direction towards honoring deep feelings.
Absolutely. Grief being one of them, but yeah, all deep feelings.
We have some lovely comments here. Sylvia, I'll highlight you later to show your beautiful selenite tower and lotuses that you want to offer up for peace and gifting us. Eleanor Joy says, we get it in the mind. Now it's time for the heart to let go and be in that flow of oneness.
Yes, thank you for that. That's beautiful.
Deborah says, yes, we are all facets and aspects of the crystal diamond. Beautiful. That's that dazzling diversity, right? Grace, seeing all of everything with complete empathy, wanting to build new, embracing possibilities. The very fact of action, it has to be partial, or can it build greater love and unexpected unity? Yes, I think intention is a really powerful tool. Alignment a vision, heart-centered vision, when we ask ourselves, where are our actions coming from? Where are they truly motivated from? And when you feel that yes, and you feel that leap of your heart choosing something, that intention will be in alignment. That is how we choose as sovereign beings. That is how we co-create this new earth, step by step. It is about action, not just words or thoughts. Is there anything else you would say, Ariel? I think I'm getting the gist of the question, but
Well, our impetus to joy, that as long as you mention it, but in that really feeling that if you're following really your joy in life, with that thing that you're leaping towards, as you called it, then you're in alignment with divine purpose and divine intention, because the divine wants us to live in joy. In the Bible, it's put this way: man is that he might have joy. Period. You know, I mean, that says it, right? I mean, though it's a little misogynist, you know, but we can forgive that. Man is that he might have joy. That is our reason for existence.
oh, that's just amazing to just amplify that in this group for a moment. Imagine if your dharma, if your purpose is actually joy, whatever brings you joy.
Yeah, that's what the goddess says for sure. You know, that's the total compass of how we navigate. That pull toward joy is what runs the universe. So
I'm aware how parts of our conditioning would say joy is frivolous, like play is frivolous, and how we've been so entrained into that same TikTok time clock, be a good debt pawn, get on system. And think about children and the creative genius of play and the joy and the high frequency that creates. So yeah, we're really onto something there.
well, if you want to live a mythic life, that's one of the biggest components. And you had asked me to look at during this whole call, how does one live a mythic life? That's one of the biggest pieces of it.
You had spoke about maybe offering the Mythic Manifesto. Is this a good time for that? Would you like to do that?
Yes, I just bridge in a couple of things here that I think are useful in determining that what is my joy thing. What distinguishes ordinary ego life from a life lived mythically? Buckminster Fuller said it so eloquently. If success or failure of this planet and of the human beings on it depended on how I am and what I do, how would I be? What would I do? Answering those questions is what a mythic life is about. You find what it is that joy that drives you toward these pieces of how can I be? What can I do? And then you ask in myth, if not you, who? And if not now, when? So when you're living a mythic life, you are saying, I am the one that makes a pivotal difference. And this is not egomania. This is like the never-ending story where Bastian finally realized that he was the one that was meant to finish this quest. And that is all of us. That when we recognize, this is one of the biggest parts of the Mythic Manifesto, is recognizing that we are the one that makes the pivotal difference in the script of what is occurring here on Earth. And when we find what really gives us joy and really motivates us and moves us forward, because out of not being able to get out of bed fast enough in the morning to get on with what it is that's bringing you joy, then you're living a mythic life. That is the best way I can describe it. There are a couple of other things here that I recognize that you make the difference is the first one. And then trust the process of life's unfolding. Trust what is happening for you is part of your mythic script. It may not be pleasant, but trust that all aspects of your journey are serving you in your mythic quest of either being the cutter, mythically speaking, that's cutting something away that may be unpleasant, or the weaver that's weaving it into a higher harmonic of truth for you. Another piece of it is live on your growth edge. This is part of the Mythic Manifesto. If you want to live a comfortable, familiar life where you're putting your feet up and having a beer and watching TV, the mythic life is not for you, because it's going to put you on your growth edge. That is the point of living mythically. It's going to say, what shadow have you not cleared here that you need to clear so you can get on with living your life mythically? That's another big piece.
Definitely. We have one more question, and I feel like I want to chime in a little bit more about how you've catalyzed me to live my mythic life even more. So Alexis, hi, beloved. Alexis is here, and she says, how do we live for joy and at the same time practice non-attachment? How does seeking joy work in equanimity? It kind of seems like the wanting of joy creates or causes suffering.
Yeah.
So
it has to be springing from inside of you, not wanting. It's an impetus. It's an impulse that moves us forward. But the wanting, you're absolutely right, is the attachment. If you want it, there's separation. That's the attachment to having joy instead of being joy. It's a very big difference.
beautiful distinction. Allowing the joy you are, your authentic joy, to shine, to radiate, to be expressed, and removing the barriers, like Rumi says about love, not seeking for love, rather removing the barriers in the way of the love you are. So for you, Alexis, really feeling into like, what's the conditioning? Whose story is that? Whose mythic, like whose screenplay writing am I acting out? If that's not your joy, it's really that courageous leap into the void of the unknown and back into the authentic being for all of us. I wish to share that when I met Ariel, I was still very much in my identity as a special somebody that wanted to kind of get famous for my music, like rock star or something. And I had no idea the adventure, the mythic adventure I was about to get taken on. And there were many chapters where it wasn't comfortable at all. It was annihilating to the small self, to the part that wanted to be seen as awesome and be validated. I went through some places in my own initiation, which we'll talk a little bit more about what that means, where I felt like, am I losing my mind? Like, what am I doing here if it's not the ego's game? How do I play this game? And one thing I've awoken to or am aware of is the more that I am in love and in service, the more I'm guided, the more I'm held, the more synchronicities, the more of those clues that you mentioned in the mythic call come through. And one day, after giving up more of that pop rock for myself to be seen, it was more about what is the transmission of these different archetypes of the goddess. And I was listening in my music studio, and I got a direct download of an entire song. It was singing and speaking. And I thought, Ariel, where are you? I feel like I'm channeling. I felt like you were piping in. I was like, how did that come so fast, so easily? And this song is one of my joys to share with everyone. I think we're going to play the transmission. And my invitation is that when you feel this is not from my little self. This is from that part of me that Ariel recognized and believed in and was willing to kind of give me some truth talking and sword holding along the way to help prune the other part that was in the way. Yeah. So Amishar, if you want to play the transmission, I know that it's a bit long with the dream awake part, so we can fade it out, or we can just do the first part until, well, we'll see how you do it. It's up to you.
So is that like the last third of the song, last third of the track that you'd like to be faded out, or?
Yes, when we go into the choreography with all the other women lifting the lamps, it's a beautiful symbol to see that. Then maybe
It is beautiful. Okay, I'll
maybe we can
interrupt it.
fade it out then. Okay, Ariel, we're gonna.
One of my absolute all-time favorite, and you'll want to get up and dance. It is so brilliant. I love this piece.
Love. Only love. Love. Only love. Love. Only love. We have received the transmission, heard the mythic call. We have come across the vast sea in service to true love. The activation has begun. We have no choice now but to burn brighter, to illuminate and inspire. Love, only love. We have come to transmit a frequency of unconditional love, to transmute the collective shadow through personal alchemy. With compassion, we raise the planetary vibration, high frequency magnetic coherency attractors. We resound, sound the sacred sound, remembrance brings the light down to open the portal, heaven on earth. Open, 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 open. Awaken each and every heart. Awaken, soul stars. Awaken and remember who you truly are. The awakening has begun through the emissaries of divine love. The awakening has begun. The portal is open.
Are you dreaming a dream that sets you free? Where there's nothing to do and everything to be. Are you dreaming a dream that sets you free?
Maybe it's time to pause it, Omashar. Thank you, Omashar. Oh, wow. I haven't seen that for a while. Thanks for all the sweet comments below. That's for my little girl, my mythic rock star when I was like 6. I used to perform on my bed for my little sister. I knew, I'm like, this gives me joy. This is my joy. So thank you for receiving that. And yeah, thank you, Ariel, for catalyzing such remembrance in me.
Such a joy. What are you going to do with a lifetime but bloom lotuses? Of which you are a very exquisitely beautiful one. Thank you.
Representation here because I really got hooked on being a focalizer of the 13 Mystery School because I get to witness so many lotuses blossoming. And while the song was playing, I found more questions for us, and there's just so much more we could talk about. I do want to share more about initiation and that path. And one of our beloved brothers asks about the story of the peacock and transmutation. And I feel like there's something in his question around the path of alchemy and initiation that we could address. What makes the 13 Moon Mystery School so unique? And if you want to speak a little bit about initiation.
It's not about what makes it unique is it's not about teaching. It's not about learning anything at all. It's about full embodiment and being in the process of that, clearing all the channels for that full embodiment, initiation and transmission. So that when you are stepping in as the goddess of compassion, for example, as you're with the lotus here, you are actually being that embodiment of that divine energy and transmitting it to others. In the 13 Moon Mystery School, it's about direct experience, not about cognitive activity. Very different. And it's also about initiation, which is taking out the sword and speaking the absolute truth from the heart. From the heart. That's the key thing. You don't take out your sword to butcher somebody. You take it out to absolutely incisively from your heart offer them the truth of your perception. And that's my primary archetypal lineage. And I bring that up, I'll see if I can show you the card. This.
Let me take myself off. Hold on one second. We're going to make it bigger. Okay, there we go.
This is the initiator. This is the primary archetype that I came to embody in this lifetime, was a kick-ass initiator and a truth teller. I mean, Eden could tell some hair-raising stories where, it shatters the ego and people walk away saying, whoa, who needs this, But if you stick and you go through the whole process of all 13 archetypes, things transmute at light speed alchemically because it is archetypal and alchemical rather than cognitive. That's the clearest answer I can make about that. And there obviously books written about what initiation is. There's much more I could say, but that's the quintessential version of it.
Right. When you speak of sharing your words like a sword, I'm aware of that word. Playing with etymology is the same. You just move the S from one side to the other. When you speak as truth, love and truth become very, very synonymous. It's like, what would true love say now? True love tells the truth all the time, all the way. And there's very few people in our lives are willing to tell us the truth, but without judgment, without chopping our heads off, and staying in compassion, in such a high frequency of compassion that they're with you, present with you, in love, willing to go the distance for you and tell you the truth, even though the ego might be shattered by that perception, because their love for you is so great that they can see what is coding over your essence, coding over your true life and light and authenticity. And so Ariel has been this person to me, this rare gift to me and to many, many others. And I feel like it's important in the world right now for there to be skilled initiators when there's a lot going on that can go very sideways with the ego and power in that false power, that power over way. Who will tell the truth in love in this time? Who will step forward to initiate those who really need to be corrected if it comes down to that? And this is really up for us collectively.
Mm-hmm. And that's why empty presence is the axis mundi of all the mystery school work, is to learn what it is to have an empty mind, to be empty and open to the divine and present in the present moment, is the bulk of the journey. And from that place, then you can initiate in the heart. You can initiate from the heart when you're empty and present in the heart. But judgment is not coming from that place. It's coming from the ego mind, and it hurts when people take out the sword. They're saying they're taking out the sword of truth, and they whack your head off with it because they're unskilled initiators. And there are a lot of those around too, I want to say, unfortunately. So if you find people that can actually speak the truth to you from the heart, really cherish them, because
Sorry to interrupt, Ariel. Yes, rare. And for those of you who are like, wow, I didn't even know there were real mystery schools that existed like this. This is not a rubber stamp training to get a certificate. This is a bona fide lineage that Ariel's remembrance has brought back from her many, many lifetimes in service to the goddess. And there are many, not enough yet. We're calling in, we're lifting the lamp for the priests and priestesses that are resonating, that are ready to become skillful initiators in the world at this time. So Ariel, on that note, I think we should share your site. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up, and I think I already have it up, and then share my screen. So once again, we are talking about holographicgoddess.com. Well, actually, I've got the sanctuary showing. I have so many windows open right now. I'm like, oh, where is the one I really want? Ariel's site.
Well, in the meantime, while you're finding it, I'm going to show you the baby itself. This is the 13 Moon Oracle. It is a temple in a box, is what Mother calls it. It has a moon board inside. It has cards. It has throwing tokens, a beautiful guidebook. It's an amazing work. This is not hubris because I didn't write this thing. I'm a damn good listener. is what it is. Mother worked through me for 5 years to make this possible to bring to people. So that's one of the things you can find on my website. And then there's the little purse edition, the teeny one you can put in your purse. That's a teeny weeny version of this bigger box. If you want the whole schlemiel.
I'm gonna share it on your site, and many of the people here have been to my Oracle office hours where I use Ariel's Oracle cards. So we're gonna share my screen and go for it. Okay, tell me if you can see. Yeah?
Yeah. There it is.
This is Holographic Goddess, Ariel's site, and easy to find, www.holographicgoddess.com. And as you get to know her more, you'll hear ways to work with Ariel directly. She still does soul sits. We are so lucky that she is available for one-on-one still.
As long as I'm on the planet.
Yeah. And she does so many other amazing things. We're going to go to the other site for them to potentially become members, because once you're a member, you get so much value. But here we have her books. We have Gaia's New Dream Coat, I would say for children of all ages. And here we have her 13 Moon Oracle, which is a temple in a box and a way of connecting with all of the archetypes of the goddess and starting to really bring the sacred feminine back into your life and your heart. And for those who are familiar with the cards, there's the cards here by themselves as well. There's some fun other products that can keep your mind wide open and your heart bursting with joy, especially when you want connection, both conversation sparkers and her consciousness koans. That's for the more advanced dinner parties. But anyway, so this is Ariel's Holographic Goddess site. And now we're going to also show her Sanctuary of the Open Heart site, which is the greater, oops, I think I went back to Holographic Goddess. Do you still see Holographic Goddess?
That's it. They're in the right place.
I need to move this one out of the way and see. Are we on Sanctuary of the Open Heart? Okay. So you're in the right place. This is an amazing place to connect with community in the One Heart and to start to visit Ariel's living library and all these beautiful wisdom teachings, mystery school teachings that you might be wondering from our language. What's empty presence? What are these divine feminine archetypes? There's also a way to become a member. Wow, I wish that was right on the homepage. We should tell your tech person, there's a way to become a member. Right here, it says donate and become a member. So I'd like to encourage that for as little as $33 to become a member of this beautiful global community that will bless up your life. Ariel, is there anything else you'd like to say about the Sanctuary of the Open Heart?
Oh, it's just the overview. It's the umbrella for building a living sanctuary for the divine feminine. That's what the function of so the mystery school lives within the Sanctuary of the Open Heart. That's the way it is. That's the overview.
All right. So Ariel, I know that there's other questions and things for you. I want to feel into this precious moment we have with you and the vision of this temple, because in my heart and many of the hearts of beings that are already connected to this divine feminine awakening, which I would say she's always been alive, well, and awake. It's us who are remembering her, that these temples are not one, they're many around the planet. That we hold that vision together tonight to see places of sanctuary, to see places of deep healing, peace, reparation, places where women and men can come and be met in the heart and be held in joy and grief, places where women can birth the way we're meant to birth, and places where people can gracefully be ushered through the dying process with so much grace and love. Visualize with us these temples springing up in places where they are most needed all around the planet, that we bring back the rites, the herbal wisdom, the elemental wisdom, the way that we have gotten so far from our connection to Gaia Terra. So anything else you want to hold in this?
Well, I would like to encourage them, if they want, to go onto the Sanctuary of the Open Heart site and take the temple tour. There's an audio tour that shows you all the different chambers, and this temple exists on the etheric already. It's not something that I conjured up. It already is there. It just needs to ground itself onto earth. So if you want to take the temple tour, it's a really fun 20-minute event to go through the temple, and that helps to continue to build it. Etherically, every person that goes and views that gives it more oomph alchemically to manifest and ground.
Yes, and I can feel this prayer that's coming through my heart for those who are resonating, and I know this is transmitting out to a greater collective and all of us here. If you know people that are in alignment with this vision, who have the means, have the resources to really catalyze this sooner than later, reach out to Ariel, reach out to the Sanctuary of the Open Heart, connect these people. If it's not you, perhaps you're picking up on who in your community can really move this forward. So that's
Appreciate it. I mean, I'm 80, for God's sake, and I had this vision when I was 8. Sometime soon it'd be great to do groundbreaking, at least. Thank you.
Argon, our beautiful brother, has put the link in. And yes, we're going to take a little pause from the interview with Ariel, and Omishar, you can now share about the amazing show this Saturday that's coming up, and we'll be back.
We'll be back. Shall I the song after the?
You're cutting out, Omishar. I'm not sure what you're saying there.
Hang on. Everything froze there for a moment. Shall I share the poster and then do a song, and then you do final thoughts?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, beloveds, I'm going to share the screen, and it's going to go like this. And oops. Hey. Stop share. Oh, hang on a minute. Sorry. Oh, well, this isn't working very well. Never mind. So you can see that, right?
Yeah. Good.
Everything went frozen for a moment. So this is an amazing show that Scott is going to be a part of this weekend. I think it's 10th, 11th, and 12th in Las Vegas, and it's called Stairway to the Stars. And on Saturday evening, we will be out of Scott's luxurious studio in the Luxor, and he will be interviewing many of the 100 people that are actually presenters at this this amazing event, including, of course, Alan Steinfeld, and hopefully Twin Ray, or at least their community. And as you can see by the center of the photo, there may be a few walk-ins as well. So that should be interesting. So that's the end of that. This in the chat is the link to go to if you're interested in checking out the event. And I'm going to sing us a little completion song here, and then we're going to get back to Ariel and Eden. And we've sung this song before, but please sing along, and the lyrics are in the chat. And there they are. And all right, I'm going to stop talking.
Uh-oh. Omashar, you have frozen, my dear. I think Omashar's line is a little bit
Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. Sing along. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. 2 more times. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. Last time. Why have we come to earth? Do you remember? Why have we taken birth? Why have we come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember to love. Serve and remember to love. Serve and remember.
Perfect song. So good, Amishar.
That's so fun. I love seeing everybody. It's, you know, you never ever want to stop because the energy is just flowing. And so thank you. So I will, well, I won't let you do anything. We're going to do it anyway. Back to Eden and Ariel, and namaste to everybody. And I love knowing that you're going to be with us on Saturday evening. And until then, here is
One moment, don't get off the hot seat so fast. Can you put your link in the chat for a way for people to find your music?
Yeah, just go on to omashar.com, OMASHAR.com. And within that mighty website, you can buy my music from Bandcamp, because they give like almost 70% of the money back to the artist. Amazing.
Cool.
Instead of 0.0001 cent. So thank you.
Wonderful, Amishar. Thank you so much, brother. That was such a perfect song. I'm going to bring Ariel back with
There she
that.
is. I'm going to say namaste, Ariel. So wonderful to feel you. I'm in love with you so much. And we'll see you at 125.
We'll see about that, but thank you.
Yes. So Omashar's link is there. Thank you, Charlotte, for that. And I do want to share that a way of connecting with the wisdom of the archetypes every Thursday for free with me is possible on my Oracle office hours. So I'm going to pop that in the chat as well. It's EdenAmadora.com/Oracle office hours. You can come to, click on the link, come sign up, and I'd love you to be part of that fun gathering. Many are here. They come, and yes, beautiful. Yeah, George is like, more dancing and singing, less teaching, pure transmission from the goddess, dancing, singing, and joy. Only joy. Ariel, what would you like to say in closing? I know we've hit the 8 p.m. mark. It's getting late, but it's a practice moment.
I'll put on my fairy godmother hat here. Say, I want to bless you all with all the joy that you could ever desire. I bless you to follow your pollen path and to find that joy in every moment in your life. That's my end.
Thank you so much. I feel like we should do a collective hands on the heart, everyone. Take a deep breath. Let's lift this to the one heart and just shout out our joy. Joy! Woohoo! To the one heart, to all beings everywhere, to live in love, to live in joy. Blessed be. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for being with us. I'd love to put y'all on the gallery view here. Yay!
And thank you, Amadora, for your incredibly adroit navigation. Thank you so much.
This was a fun one for me. Lots of little techie multitasking going on. It really upped the ante. And I know I have beloveds here who are like, don't forget to tell them to come to Oracle office hours. At the last minute, I remembered. So come, keep the love alive. Let's join together again soon. And I'll see you very, very soon.
Blessed be.
Bye, everybody.
Blessed be.
Bye for now.
Namaste, everybody. Love you.
Namaste.
Bye.